Welcome to this 5-minute technique meditation. The background, the sound of the waves on the ocean, was recorded in the beaches of Surin in Phuket, Thailand. So when you're ready, we're going to begin by taking in 5 deep breaths. Full inhales, full exhales. Really try to get rid of that stale air that sat at the bottom of the lungs. 3 more breaths. For the remaining breaths, really try and listen to the sound of the sea. Picture the waves. Really be there. Let's bring our breathing back to its normal pattern now. Alright, so first part of the technique. On the inhale, where do you notice the sensation of the breath most predominantly? Is it the cold air as it rushes through the nose, goes down the throat, or as the lungs fill with air? Or is it with the rise and fall of the stomach, as the diaphragm expands? Try this with the exhale. As you're breathing out, where do you notice that the most? For me, it's the small space in between the nostril and the lip. A small centimeter there that I notice it. Where do you notice yours? This is called your anchor. It can change over time, but wherever you established it, let's use that. Now picture yourself sitting on the beach, listening to the waves, people walking by. Now, like popping a soap bubble, I want you to return to your breathing. Return to your anchor. Where do you notice the sensation of breathing strongest? When we switch from thinking to searching for that sensation of the breath, switching from thinking to being in the present moment. And that's what this is all about. How do we learn to be more in the present? How do we learn to be aware that we are lost in thought? What tool can we use with kindness to bring ourselves back to presence? Now, it's the nature of the mind to wander. Probably about the things you need to do later on your to-do list. Bring something to mind. What is it that you need to do urgently today? And again, like popping that soap bubble, take a breath, go back to our anchor. Completely remove that thought from our head, and we're switching back to the present moment. Now again, let's bring to mind the beach, the sounds. And as we notice any distractions, let's bring our attention back to the sound of the waves. We're setting some parameters. We're saying to our mind, our aim is to focus on the sound of the waves. And any other distraction, with kindness, we're just going to gently remind ourselves and redirect our attention back to the ocean, back to the waves. can't stop the thoughts from coming. Like we can't stop the waves. But we can learn to surf them. Just like with our thoughts, we can learn that although we have a thought, at any moment we can choose to bring our attention back to the present moment. Breathing in, breathing out. It's our intention to focus on the waves and on our breath. So let's do that. This is a muscle we train, and the more that we practice that notice a thought and bring it back. I notice a thought and bring it back. We're carrying out mental push-up reps, and this is the key to a lifetime of meditation. The more troubling the thought or the more anxious a thought is, the harder it is and the more practice we will need. But it's the same technique nonetheless. There's a 15-minute version of this meditation where it's just the sound of the oceans to help you sleep if you want something more relaxing. More meditations, more podcasts at mindfulnews.uk.